Okay, so I know that most of the examples of couples and romantic relationships around you leave a lot to be desired, but every so often there's that one couple that crosses your path, that draws you in, and you wonder what is the secret sauce to their relationship. And when people talk about couple goals, what are we talking about? How does a relationship go from good to great? And how do I truly create a thriving romantic relationship? This is what we'll be talking about in today's episode. Welcome to Relate Higher, a podcast dedicated to providing the leading standard in conscious higher relating and to teaching you a conscious framework for all of your relationships. This is your go-to resource for developing meaningful, conscious relationships across your life. I'm your host, award-winning relationship coach and consultant and former family lawyer, Leticia Ringe. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. In today's episode, I'm introducing you to the fifth C in a conscious romantic relationship, which is a thriving, successful, deeply fulfilling romantic relationship. And the fifth C is collaboration and co-creation. The secret sauce to a romantic relationship that takes your romantic relationship from good to great and into thriving couple goals category is what you're learning in today's episode. Collaboration and co-creation is what you're seeing with couples who cross your path who seem to have it all figured out. They have learned how to come together as two individuals in a romantic partnership to support one another, and not only support, but actually collaborate and create new energy together. They become a powerful force because they are combining their creativity to create new energy together. So they inspire each other, they activate each other, they expand each other. They use their powerful abilities as humans with forces combined, and it is truly beautiful to be witness. So how do we get on the same page, combine our creative forces, activate and inspire each other, become a team with what we're creating in our life together, while also still being incredibly attracted and turned on by one another? Collaboration and co-creation is how you do this. And in today's episode, I'm going to introduce you to 3 techniques to support you to do just that. Let's dive on in. Technique number 1 is intention. I cannot stress the power of intention enough when it comes to romantic relationships. Too often, you and your partner simply are not clear on what your intentions are. You become a powerful force in a romantic relationship, just as in any other area of your life, when you are backed by a strong and clear intention. When you and your partner slow down to get clear on what your intention is with a specific moment of connection, a specific project, a specific chapter in your relationship, a specific aspect of your relationship, you both get on the same page. And the way that it becomes collaborative is that you both use your life experience, your relationship experience, your inner wisdom, your awareness and perspective to bring all of that information to the table so that you can both discuss a combined clear intention together. And so you join forces through that combined intention. And then whatever action, however you show up, wherever you go in your life together, you are both on the same page with that intention. Now, it doesn't mean that the way you meet that intention is the same. It means that you're both able to be spontaneous and creative in the moment, with the guiding force being your intention. So you're also able to draw on your own in the moment presence and intellect and intuition in order to collaborate with the present moment so that you're moving your relationship and your intention forward. This is what powerful couples do together. They're clear on their intention, but they're not limited by having one specific strategy of meeting that intention. They trust each other to make the decisions that are right in the moment because they understand the power of intention and how that enables you to do just that. So powerful couples are powerful because they are clear on their intention together and they've slowed down enough to do just that. In my conscious relationship process that I teach couples and singles, every person learns how to move with intention when it comes to their romantic life and their romantic relationship, because this is where all your power is. I invite you to check out previous episodes I've done about moving with intention and also stepping into commitment in a powerful way in your romantic relationship. The second technique I'll introduce you to today is called yes and. This is something I've taken from improv. Now, I don't know about you, but I love improv. Improv is so much fun, and one of the rules you learn when you become an improv actor is the rule of yes and. In improv, everything is happening in the present moment. The people who are in the improv scene do not know what the other person is going to do. How it works and how beautiful scenes are created that people get to enjoy who are watching, and that the people acting get to enjoy, and that take them to places that they never knew was possible, is this rule of yes and. Whatever person A brings to person B is going to yes that and then add to it. This is how you become collaborative teammates. Now, this is very different to person A bringing an idea and then person B squashing that idea so that it fizzles out and nothing can be created from it. Person A is no longer confident to bring their ideas because person B just squashes their inspiration, their dreams, and their energy. Have any of you ever felt like this in your romantic relationship? It is so common for couples in romantic relationships, both people, to be saying that the other person is squashing their dreams, squashing their inspiration, or simply draining their energy. This is because you're not creating energy together. You're not being collaborative together. You are knowing each other and your ideas. So yes, and in the context of romantic relationships looks like person A, let's call them partner A, brings ideas, brings wisdoms, brings inspiration to partner B. Partner B, yes, ands the ideas. So even if they don't love it, they look at it through the viewpoint of accepting it as a first port of call. And then they add to it. Then person A, partner A, then adds to the ideas that partner B brings. And what happens is over time, you get to a place that you would never have arrived at had it not been for your relationship and the yes and collaborative nature of it. Now, the reason we don't do this in romantic relationships is because we are scared of where this yes and is going to take us. We believe that if we say yes to something, that means we have to agree to everything that's happening, rather than treating the conversation as a creative process where something even better will be revealed. This is seriously the secret sauce to all thriving romantic relationships. You heard it here first. It is a powerful technique that if you use it and bring it to your partner, it will completely transform the success, fulfillment, and thriving of your partnership together. So try it out. The next time your partner or a future partner suggests an idea, some inspiration, a conversation, yes it. Accept what they have to say and then add to the conversation with your own ideas, your own direction, your own wisdom, and continue with that way so that you're yes-ending each other. And if you want to know more about this rule, simply do a Google search, what does the yes and rule in improv mean? And then use that to help guide you as you move forward and embody this concept in a deeper way. The third technique you can use to step into collaboration and co-creation as a couple is polarity. If you haven't heard about polarity before, polarity is when one person in the relationship steps into and holds the masculine energy pole while the other person holds the feminine energy pole. You can swap these roles at any time within your relationship as you both desire. Now, what this looks like is, in terms of creativity, there is the masculine aspect of creativity and then there's the feminine aspect of creativity. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us, and we all need to use in a healthy way our masculine and feminine energy in order to create anything in life. In fact, in a woman, through their menstrual cycle years, they are moving through more feminine versus more masculine hormonal phases throughout one menstrual cycle. We all are moving throughout masculine and feminine energy throughout the course of a 24-hour day. This is how anything in life is created. And what you can do when you polarize your relationship to become a powerful creative force together is you can let go of one pole in order to more deeply embody the other pole. This is more than you ever are able to achieve as one single alone individual person, because you really need to be moving amongst both throughout your life. When you're in a romantic relationship and you've got a powerful intention and you're yes-ending each other, you can swap roles so that one person is powerfully holding the masculine energetics of the particular creative project or moment in the relationship, and the other is looking after the feminine energetic pole. Now, I have an episode all about masculine and feminine energy and polarity in romantic relationships, which I'll link to this episode. Polarity is a huge topic, and I have to say that a lot of the education out there on the topic of polarity is, in my opinion, not great. And so some of you might feel a little like, ooh, I want nothing to do with this topic because of that education. The way that I teach polarity is really straightforward. It's about allowing some aspects of a particular project or intention or moment be met by one person while the other person is meeting the other aspects. This is so you can both come together and really focus on your role within a project without needing to be all of the things all at once. When you are battling for leadership in a relationship, when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, this is when you both don't have clear roles in terms of polarity. You can also create a lot of attraction and magnetism amongst you as a couple through polarity, as well as appearing more magnetic to everyone around you. If you want to learn more about polarity, this is something I teach my clients in my Conscious Relationship Coaching Program, and I'm so excited to let you all know about a new opportunity to work with me at the end of today's episode. So make sure you stick around until we get there. So polarity is a huge topic. There's a lot of miseducation and I think really limiting education on the subject. But when it comes to a very simple, straightforward, nothing weird here, we're not saying that one person has to be in one role all of the time. I'm saying when it comes to being a collaborative team together, we can't have everyone doing the same thing and being in the same role. And also, at its essence, masculine energy is going to be the person who's holding the leadership role and holding the space and directing, while the other person is going to hold the feminine energy pole. They are following. They are allowing the leadership and the decisions to come from one person, and they're following and executing and giving all the information that the leader needs in order to make better decisions. This is great because we don't want to be leading all of the time. This is not sustainable for anyone. And so it also allows your partner who's in the leadership role to feel inspired and encouraged and confident because they have someone who is following their leadership. And then on the flip side, it allows the person following not need to have to make all of the decisions for once. They get to have their partner do that. So there could be particular projects, particular aspects of your relationship, particular aspects of your shared life together, where one of you is just better at that, or you just enjoy it more. And so maybe you want to lead that. And then there are going to be other aspects that your partner wants to lead. When you yes and each other, you allow each other to step into these polarized roles, which allows you to show up as a powerful team together, rather as two separate teams battling each other without clear intentions, knowing each other, and then also trying to do the same things at once. It's just silly. So, magnetic couples who are couple goals, who are thriving, who take relationships from good to great, they understand this secret. They have moved into collaborative and co-creative energy, and some of the most powerful techniques that I have found are these 3 methods I've shared with you today. We are combining our creative, powerful forces through a clear, combined intention. We are also, ending each other so that we end up in a creative place that we never would have accessed had it not been for our combined awareness, perspective, intuition, etc. And then we are sharing roles rather than trying to do the same thing. And we recognize that a creative project, which is a relationship, which is our life, requires both masculine and feminine energy. And we're allowing each other to hold a respective role so that we can go deeper into it and so we can be teammates in that project rather than trying to battle each other for leadership, etc., or having no one wanting to lead the project. Someone has to do it. Showing up with collaborative and co-creative energy as a couple is what has you creating new energy together. It's what has you activating each other, inspiring each other, becoming a collaborative unit. This is so attractive and so magnetic to be around. And from what I've seen through all of the people I've worked with, through my own experience, when we're looking for someone who is our match, this is what we're looking for. And our brain will tell us, but if we become teammates, is that really attractive? And the answer is yes, when you're doing it in this collaborative, co-creative way, where you're ending each other, where you're respecting each other, where you're recognizing that there are different roles that are needed at different times, and you can both switch around in those roles as is needed. This is what takes your relationship to a great place. And I'm so excited for all of you to experience this. Now, I mentioned earlier that I am opening up a new program for all of you to teach you my conscious relationship process. This program is called The Conscious Relationship. And in this program, I'll be teaching you exactly how to implement all of the concepts you've been learning so far on this podcast in a practical process that you can implement into your romantic relationship either now or in the future. This program has been created for singles and couples. You can do it with your partner or you can do it alone. And if you're not in a relationship, you can do it now so that you know the kind of person that you want to look for who has the capacity to meet you in this conscious relationship process. And you also are equipped with the skills to create a successful, thriving relationship that gets better and better over time. This program is completely different to anything else that you will ever learn on the topic of relationships and conscious relationships, because I have uniquely designed this program through my own life and work experience, from my experience as a family lawyer, as well as my experience as a coach specializing in transformation. The way that I approach the topic of relationships as well as conscious relationships is different to anything else out there. First of all, in the conscious relationship space, the way that I teach conscious relationships is incredibly practical. It is a very grounded approach, although I will also draw upon spiritual concepts, but it is not spoken of through only spiritual concepts, and that is very different to anything else offered in this space. Now, in terms of relationships generally, my approach is very different to what you'll more typically see in this space. A lot of what you see comes from a therapy and counseling, especially couples counseling background, whereas my focus is really on taking you and your partner or yourself where you are today and equipping you with the tools to create what you want for your future. While there is some self-reflection, some looking at the past, we do not stay here and rehash the past and try to figure out why you are the way you are. Through my own experience, I have not found that to be very useful. It's useful to a certain degree, but in order to transform, you really need to focus on equipping yourself with the skills and moving yourself into a transformative process so that you're stepping into what you want to create rather than trying to explain forever why you are the way you are. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a place for that. There is, but the kind of people that I tend to work with are people who have been on the personal development path for quite some time. So you all have a level of self-awareness and understanding of why you are the way you are, and now it's time to step into conscious creation. And we're going to do that in a practical and conscious way that allows you to move forward and create what you want and step into leadership around your relationship. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, which it will be if you've been a listener to this podcast, please put your name on the waitlist for the conscious relationship, and I'll let you know as soon as details open in the coming weeks. If you're listening to this episode in the future, you'll be able to use this same link to access the program and find out all the details there. Head to relatehigher.com/the conscious relationship. I'm so excited to share the details because this is the process that I teach all my clients that I work with, and it is truly transformative and a practical way to implement everything that we've been talking about on this series of the podcast. Finally, if you want personalized one-to-one or couples support for your relationship or to set yourself up with the skills for a relationship in the future, and you want to do that deep transformative work personally with me so that I create a bespoke coaching program for you, you can apply for my conscious relationship coaching program. I work with singles and couples. I work with people in a relationship one-to-one or together as a couple. And I also work with people who are not in a relationship right now, but want to set themselves up for success for their next relationship. You can apply for my conscious relationship coaching program at relatehigher.com/CRCP. All right, my beautiful friends, in our next episode, I will be introducing you to the sixth and final C to a conscious, thriving romantic relationship. And that is all about consciousness. I'm so excited to dive into this subject with you, and I'm also so excited for you all to implement the 3 techniques that you've learned today to put you into couple goal territory, which, as you'll remember, is about intention, yes, and polarity. I'll see you in our next episode. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Relate Higher, your go-to resource for learning how to consciously approach all of your relationships. To deepen your learning and practice, make sure you're subscribed to receive the Relate Higher community newsletter. This is a weekly newsletter sent to you every Monday, providing further coaching and education to support your relationships. Subscribe at relatehigher.com/community. And if you haven't yet left a 5-star review for the podcast, we ask that you please do that now so that this podcast can reach other listeners who also want to learn and practice conscious higher relating. Because remember, the more people who learn, the better relationships we all enjoy.